Hey, what's up? It's Moshe Loren. And for 23 years, I was the voice on the radio behind the mic in cities like St. Louis, Philly, and West Palm Beach, connecting with listeners and sharing stories and just being a voice for the community. We've laughed together, we've cried together, and we've navigated the crazy ups and downs of this life together. But then life threw me a curveball. After my 10-year marriage ended, everything changed overnight. And I found myself asking, so what now? This podcast is my answer. And it's not just my journey, it's ours. It's for those of us who have had to reset, pivot, or start over in the face of life's unexpected challenges. Together, we'll explore healing, happiness, grief, self-reflection, forgiveness, dating, yes, dating, because I got to get back in these streets, and everything in between. Through my journey, I'm creating a safe space for us to come together, reclaim our strength, and rebuild our lives. You don't have to go through this alone. Together, we'll find the confidence to create the happily ever after we all deserve. So what now? Let's figure it out together. Hey. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We've made it through yet another week. A tough week, right? Tough week. But I am so grateful to be here. My name is Moshe Loren, and this is So What Now, the podcast for those of us who are turning painful endings into beautiful, beautiful new beginnings. So now, before we dive into the meat of the show today, let's just address the pink elephant in the room, shall we? There is a collective energy in the air. For so many of us, the election season was and has been emotional. It's been an emotional journey. It's been draining in many sense. And the results have left some of us with all kinds of feelings of hope, feelings of disappointment, feelings of uncertainty, and just not sure what's next, right? And I think it's moments like this that really test us personally, test us as a community, test us as a country, right? This test is for our resilience. It's a test in resilience. It's a test of faith. It's a test of our ability to pick up the pieces, deal with the hand we've been dealt, and move forward with some level of purpose. And this is exactly why today's topic, as I was thinking about, what are we going to talk about today? Last week was a really heavy week. I get it. I understand domestic violence isn't the easiest, lightest thing to talk about, but it's very necessary. And in light of what's been happening in the world, I felt like today's topic is exactly why it couldn't be more relevant. All right. So we're going to talk about the power of positivity and mindset, because I think this is what we all are charged with right now, some of us. And no matter what's going on around us, we each have the power to decide how we're going to show up in the world, how we're going to show up in our own lives, how we're going to show up in the lives of people around us. And we can choose to be a source of light. If you look at my Instagram bio area, it says something like, light doesn't have to announce itself when it comes in a room. You know why? Because you just see it. So we want to definitely be the light. We want to be the light in some really dark places. And we want to see the possibility in every situation, especially things that we can't control and we can't change. And we want to use these situations to grow stronger and enhance our own experiences. So with that being said, you know what we do every week. And so my table, I'll tell you the story about my table another day, but everything's on this table here. So we got to be really, really careful not to knock anything over. And I'm a little clumsy. So like we do every week, grab your favorite drink. And mine happens to be a Sauvignon Blanc. Grab your favorite drink and your libation, and then have your hydration, because we always libate and then we hydrate. And if I had to be quite honest, I've been libating. I've been pre-gaming. All right, let's kick it off with a little bit of gratitude, as I like to do every week, and shift our focus to all that we can control, our mindset, our actions, and the energy that we bring into each day. So This came to us from my girl, Christina Thompson. She says, thanks again for sharing your story. I am so happy that you don't look like what you've been through. And it's great to see you showing up for yourself and for others. Baby, guess who else is glad she don't look like what she been through? Okay, because what did Suge Avery say? You'd be like, she sure is ugly, right? So thank you. I appreciate your kind words and certainly appreciate you hanging out here with us at So What Now. And then another feedback I got, it says, so I asked myself the question, so what now? As I sit here lonely in the comfort of my home, I've been single for many years now. As I've entered back into the dating world, it's been so disappointing and challenging. I know I deserve to be loved, but why is it so hard to find a good partner and companion? I too am 50, and companionship is what I desire. I have a career, I make a decent salary, and my children are grown and on their own. I'm lonely in my house learning all kinds of crafts, but it's lonely. My circle is my sisters who are all married with children. I've got so much drive, energy, and love. I just want to share life with a respectful, trustworthy, caring, honest, mature, and loving man. I just wanted to share, she says. It's a way of dealing with my frustration. Well, thank you for sharing. And I feel your heart. And I want you to know that you are not alone, sis. I promise you, you're not alone. If it's just me and you in the boat, you're not alone. And the longing for true companionship after a failed marriage, raising your kid, doing the work and self growth, you deserve it. It's so natural to feel that way. And sometimes it's in these quiet moments and these lonely seasons that we are being prepared for that connection. And you know what I like to say? I always say that while you're doing your work and you're preparing for your Adam, he's also somewhere preparing for you, right? So keep shining your beautiful energy. And most of all, do not lose hope. It's only when you lose hope that things just don't happen. You got to stay faithful and don't lose hope. The right person will recognize your worth, your value, and meet you right where you are. You are deserving of all the love that you are ready to give. And I believe that he is out there for both of us, sis. He is out there for both of us. And that's from my mouth to God's ears. All right. So hang in there. Remember, y'all, to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to help us to expand our village, like, share, subscribe. Okay. Can you do that for your girl? All right, so let's keep this positive momentum going as we dive into the heart of today's conversation. So I did some research because it's required to do some research, right? I wanted to just see what science said about positivity because I know what it does for me, but let me just tell you that there is actual science behind positivity. So when you focus on positive thoughts, you release feel good. You probably heard this before. You release feel good chemicals, right? Like dopamine and serotonin. And research shows that positivity isn't just about feeling good mentally and in your energy. It really does reduce stress. It lowers your blood pressure. It improves your overall health. You know, there's a saying that says it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. So that leans towards being positive. It truly will change your perspective. It really does. Not just that, but it also improves your relationships and your resiliency. Nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer. I mean, hold that thought. Nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer. So just think about if you are the light when you come around and you lift people's spirits and you're always injecting a positive word, people want to be around you. It strengthens your relationships. And at the end of the day, it's the universal law of attraction that says the energy that you give is the energy you'll receive. If you emit positive energy into the universe, it'll attract positive resources, opportunities, and people. You know, and it really does strengthen your bond with others and provides a solid support system, especially when you are going through life's challenges. I can't tell you how this is what I believe. I believe that I always talk about my village, right? I talk about my village, my blood related village, which is my family. I talk about my chosen family, which are my friends, my sisterhood, and my brotherhood. I got a solid village. But I don't believe that I would have the kind of people that I have in my life if I didn't show up in my most positive self. I don't believe I would have that. And I will tell you, in my marriage, right? My husband used to always call me negative. And I really sat with that thing at times because I'm like, am I negative? I had to really question myself. Am I negative? Because I never heard anyone call me negative. Because when you call somebody negative or you judge somebody as being negative, you're saying that that's they always show up that way, right? I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I've not had a negative thing to say at times or I've not had a negative thought. I'm not saying that I'm human, so I've had that. But to call someone negative, it insinuates that they're always that way. And I just could not rationalize how I could be deemed as negative, you know? So shifting your mindset though, how to shift your mindset is, I think, is the most important part of our conversation this evening, because I think that your mind will tell your body what to do. It is the nucleus of your action. It starts here. Everything starts here. And if you can recalibrate, reset, and change what's going on up here, it's going to change everything that flows out of you. So how do you change that mindset? Well, you've got to interrupt the negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are going to come. You know why? Because the devil, Lucifer, he is busy. Did you know he don't take vacation time? He don't take vacation. Thanksgiving's coming up. He's still going to be working. Christmas, New Year. He is working all day, every day, because that's his job. So when those negative thoughts start to infiltrate your mind, know that it's the enemy playing games, because he sees that, you know what? If she keeps, or if he keeps thinking this way, then all the things that you want and all the things that God has for you, you'll eventually attract. So if he can keep you thinking negatively, then what's going to happen, right? So he's doing his job, and you got to be very aware of when those thoughts start to enter your mind, and you have to refrain from negative self-talk. You have to I don't know how many times I've had conversations with people, and I have a family member that I have conversations with often, and I always say, don't say that. Don't say that, because if you say that, then that's what, if you believe it, if you they say, if you can, or if you say you can or can't, you can or you can't, right? So words have power. And so you have to really recalibrate your thoughts when those negative things start to creep in, and you have to replace them with something positive. Here is what, this is no lie, I have posted all I have posted all types of affirming phrases around my house, phrases, scriptures, prayers. They keep me encouraged. They shift my mindset. On every room door, I've got a scripture. And when you walk into my what used to be my office, which is now a guest room, I've got a whole board full of, here it comes. I have a whole board full of affirmations. Look at the affirmations, because I have to constantly remind myself, whenever I'm not feeling my best self, that I am resilient, that I am worthy, that I am capable, that I am valuable, that I am confident, that I am strong. I'm beautiful. I'm deserving of all good things. And so this is not something that I'm saying to you that I don't practice myself. And you can ask my girl Meek Meek, who, she's here in the cyberspace. She's been here. I didn't just do that tonight for tonight's show. I promise you I didn't. This is really how I live my life. I'm not a person who will advise or tell you that I'm doing something that I'm not actually doing. I try to be as authentic and transparent as I absolutely can. Another thing that I think is really good to do in terms of changing your mindset is to practice gratitude. Practice daily gratitude. Every show I've been talking to y'all about this here journal. Y'all gonna get sick of me talking about journaling, but I journal because I believe that when you write it down, it sticks and it stays. You write it down, you make it plain. And when you have a daily gratitude journal, it is one of the most effective ways that will shift your focus on what's wrong to what's right, just in a flash. I'm serious. Like, I can be, for instance, I can be sitting there having dinner by myself, and I can be having dinner, and I can just be thinking, some negative thought can come to mind. I will literally pick up the fork and be like, thank God for the fork that this food is on, because I could be somebody who didn't have a fork to eat my food with, and I'd have to eat with my hands. So it's the littlest of things that will help to um, rid your mind of all of the negative thinking. So definitely, I encourage you to start yourself a grateful journal. Oprah Winfrey. Y'all, I know I quote Oprah Winfrey all the time, but Oprah is the one that started me with journaling. She did. She started me with journaling. And then once she's talked about journaling, then she talked about the grateful journal. So she has several different journals, as do I. And so I encourage you guys to definitely get into journaling. The other thing is, and this is obvious, right? Surround yourself with other people who are positive. Like, if you want to remain positive, you want to insulate yourself with other people who believe and reaffirm what you believe. I have family members and some friends. I have family members and friends that when they call me sometimes, I might see their number come up and I might not answer, because it depends on what I have to give that day. And I realize that not everybody's going to, you know, adopt this, or not everybody's going to have a easy time transitioning into recalibrating their mind if they've been a certain way for a long time. And so I think that if you are positive, you have to lend yourself to people who are not so positive sometimes. Sometimes, operative word, sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes you have to insulate yourself from that negativity, so that you can stay where you need to be. And if that means isolating yourself from those people, do that. You know what they say in the airline business, right? Put your mask on first before you help somebody else. It's like a butterfly that goes into a cocoon. Every now and again, I got to cocoon myself from people. And I'll be honest too. When the next time I talk to them, they'll be like, "Girl, I called you yesterday, or I called you a couple of." Child, listen, I ain't want to hear all that humdrum. I did not want to hear all that humdrum. I just didn't. I didn't have the capacity for it because I was in my own humdrum, so I didn't have the time. I didn't have the capacity to take on yours. And it's okay to do that. If they love you, if they really love you and want nothing but the best for you, they don't want you to be a landfill for them all the time, where they just get to dump, 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 dump. When people dump, dump, dump on you and you don't take a break and a reprieve from that, then what happens to you? You become a dumpster. And that's not what this life is all about. So surround yourself with like-minded people who reinforce your positive mindset. All right. So what now? Where we at in time? Okay. So what now? Well, in light of the election and the heaviness that some of us are still feeling, because if I had to be honest with you guys, I I damn near turned my phone off yesterday. I did. I was just disheartened. And I'm not going to make this a political thing, but because I know not everybody's views are aligned, but I was really disheartened. And I had to, everything that I'm talking to you about today, I had to do that to the nth degree yesterday, in terms of like just recalibrating my mindset and knowing that we still have to move forward. So when we get back, here's what I want to do. I want to talk about some positive takeaways, because even though the decision didn't go the way some of us may have wanted, I always want to find a silver lining. So there's some positive takeaways. We'll talk about them right after this break. Step into Closet Bar, the spot where fashion meets attitude and every piece is a vibe. Whether you're looking to shake or stir up a night out or something casual for your everyday sleigh, they've got pieces that'll serve you day and night. From casual to sexy, trendy, and timeless. Freshen up your wardrobe with Closet Bar. Timeless pieces, brunch pieces, day with your bae pieces, and everything in between. At Closet Bar, fashion is made for everyone. With a wide range of sizes and styles, there's something for every woman, no matter your age, shape, or vibe. Want some extra help curating your look? Book a personal style session and let our experts craft the perfect outfits for you, tailored to your personality and lifestyle. Head over to Closet Bar and get a taste of what it means to stand out. Shop the latest collections and upgrade your style game. Don't miss out on the must-have pieces that'll keep you fly and fierce no matter where the day or night takes you. Whether it's a statement piece or everyday essential, Closet Bar has what you need to feel confident and look amazing. For your next signature look, shop myclosetbar.com. Use the word closet at checkout and receive a 10% discount. Closet Bar, because you deserve to look as good as you feel. Okay, y'all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. I need to come up with a little jingle. Like, subscribe, and share. That's not it? Okay, we'll work on that. All right, welcome back. So before we get started, can I libate and hydrate? And you can do the same. This is a little sweeter than the Sauvignon Blancs I'm used to. All right, so here are a few positive takeaways from the election that I hope to inspire us to keep going and inspire more unity, right? Community engagement and participation was at an all-time high. Would you agree? What Kamala was able to do in 100 days to get 66 million, I may be off with the number a little bit, but 60 in the 60 somewhere million people to vote yes. That's a big deal. And it took a lot of community engagement and participation because we saw a high number and level of engagement and voter turnout, not as much as we would have wanted, showing that people are actively participating in the process. Regardless of the outcome, it's powerful to see that so many voices were heard. Another positive takeaway from this was the increased awareness and advocacy. So many more of us have been educated on the social issues and policies and creating opportunities for future advocacy and change at both the local and the national levels. And that's something that we all have to do better with. Even myself, I will say, let me self-check. We have to do better with participating in the local elections. That's just really important because when you think about the hierarchy of these offices and how this thing goes, is that people start here in the local level, and then they move up to the state level, and then they move up to the national federal level. So they sort of go in these stages. And so if you don't get to vote right, if you're not voting down on this level, you have no control who gets promoted to that level. You follow me? Young voters made a huge impact in this election. They made their voices heard in a historical way. They brought fresh perspectives and passions to the table. This influence is going to shape the future, obviously, future elections and policy directions. So we are super excited about that. And we just have to keep this momentum going. Unity and diversity. There were so many diverse candidates in this election, and that was represented across the ballot, making it really clear that leadership is becoming more inclusive and reflective of the country's population. And this is a step toward a government that more closely represents everybody. I mean, even the fact that Madam VP Kamala is a vice president, we know that was historical. And then for her to be given an opportunity to run for the highest office in the land is historical. And I'm just grateful for where we are. I'm seeing the silver lining in where we are and what we were able to accomplish. Resilience and optimism for the future. Even in times of challenge, people are coming together to push for progress and make their voices count. Many feel empowered to work towards positive changes locally, knowing that each community effort is a ripple effect. Like I said, it's a hierarchy thing. We got to start here. And I want to share this story with you guys. I really do want to share this story. I don't know if I should share this story. Meek, should I share this story? Did I share it with you? I should, yes, I should share this story. So, did I share the story? I should share the story. Okay. Okay, y'all. So here's the story. I believe that each of us are responsible for the influence that we have in the people that we have the pleasure or not, that we have the ability to touch and feel and speak to, right? And I knew how important this election was. I knew how important this election was. And there's somebody in my life that I was really close to at one time, and they weren't going to vote because they were out of town. Okay. They weren't going to vote because they were out of town. And I was really disappointed when I found out that they weren't going to vote because they were out of town, because I felt like you knew you were going to be out of town. You should have made provisions to get an absentee ballot, fill it out, get it back. What do you mean you're not going to vote? I just could not wrap my head around the fact that they said they weren't going to vote. So it ended up being a really knockout, drag out kind of argument, to be honest with you, because I'm not one to push my political opinion and my choices on anyone. But what I will push and encourage people around me is you have to at minimally, you have to participate in the process. That's it. And that's as far as my push goes. And so when I found out this person was not going to vote, we had a knockout, drag out, or you would, honey, listen, probably called him everything but the child of God. It's like, no, no name calling. I was just really, really upset. I was that passionate. And so after the argument, I went to bed. I prayed. I went to bed. I woke up the next morning. I apologized for my behavior because I did, I just went off on the deep end because I was so angry. And I said, if I got you a flight to come back here to vote, would you do it? And they said yes. They said yes. I said, done. Got the flight, booked the flight. Election day, Tuesday, I went, picked them up, took them to the poll. They cast their vote, took them back to the airport, and that was it. And I did that because I felt my duty. I felt it was my duty. I felt like I know somebody, because up until that point, I had not known anybody that wasn't going to vote. There was nobody in my circle that had said to me out loud, I'm not going to vote. Because I would have done that for anybody. I would have done that for Mika. I would have done that for anybody that said to me, a stranger, I would have tried to encourage them to at least go. And so this person, I felt like was very close to me at one point. And so I could not allow that to just blow over. And I didn't. And I did something about it. And guess what? Some people say, oh, you crazy girl. Why would you? It's like, you know what? This wasn't for you. This wasn't about me. This wasn't about them. It wasn't about me thinking of me. It was about me thinking about the larger community. We are all like drops in the ocean that make up the ocean. Every drop counts, just like every vote counts. And I feel like I did my civic duty. I feel like I did my civic duty in making sure that person got to the poll to vote. Who is that person, you ask? It was my husband. All right. So there we go. There we go. So whether it was the outcome you had hoped for or not, this election can definitely be a reminder of our shared ability to shape the future and stand together for issues that we all believe in. So what have I learned through all of this? Because yesterday was such a dope day for me, because when I get into those moods where I'm like, I don't want to people, it was like, you ever have those days where you don't feel like peopling? I don't feel like really being around people. I don't really feel like talking to a gang of people. I just really want to go inside and just process and figure things out, because we all, if you have any level of compassion, and I feel like I am a deeply compassionate person, I and I can be an empath at times. I am dealing with my own stuff and then dealing with worldly stuff. So yesterday was like a day that I just needed to, you know, pull back from people, and I did a lot of praying and meditating and that sort of thing. And so when I come back, I want to talk about what I've learned in this season about shifting my mindset. So stay tuned after this short break. We'll be right back. Enjoying the show so far? Well, please like, comment, subscribe, or share. And to keep up with all things Moshe Loren, that's me, head over to MosheLoren.com. All right, guys. Let me sip and hydrate. Let me libate and hydrate. Okay. All right. So, I love my journal. I'm not going to bore you with the journaling. We talked about it already. I think I'm going to get my own little personal So What Now journals. You think I should do that? I think I should get my own little personal So What Now journals. I think I will. All right. So, let's talk about what I've learned. The journey into positive mindset and perspective has taught me so much. It's really taught me a lot, both in my personal life and how I face the bigger picture, like this recent election. Going through my own challenges in marriage, I've come to see that a positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the hard parts of life. There's a saying, a year ago, what a saying. Well, I don't know that this is a saying, but it has been said that faith does not refuse to accept the reality. And the reality is that there will be some hard days. And even when those hard days come, you have to always find the positive in it all, because there's positivity in everything. So it's about choosing to focus on what you can control, and think about the serenity prayer. When you think about what you can control, you pray for God to grant you the serenity to change the things you can, accept the things you can't, and have the wisdom to know the difference. When you feel betrayed, broken, or like your foundation has been shaken, a mindset shift can help you to see that these painful endings don't have to be the end of your story. They are the beginning of something beautiful if you allow yourself to step back, breathe, and trust that there's a way forward, even if it's hard to see in that moment. Similarly, this election may have left some of us feeling really frustrated or uncertain, but adopting a positive perspective can be incredibly powerful. No matter who's in office, we can commit to showing up in our own lives with kindness, empathy, and an unwavering dedication to creating change, starting with ourselves. Change starts at home. When we realize that each of us holds the power to impact our communities and our future, we reclaim a sense of purpose no matter the outcome. This is what I've learned. Positivity is a choice. Just like I always say, happiness is a choice. You wake up and choose to be positive. You wake up and choose to be happy. It's not a destination. It's a perspective shift that requires intention. I've learned to trust in the resilience that's within me and within all of us, to keep moving forward, to focus on what we can control, and to find lessons even in the hard times. And as I look back, check the receipts on how far I've come, I see proof that change begins from within. I hope these insights resonate with you, especially if you felt discouraged by recent events or in your personal life. Remember that we have the strength to rewrite our own storylines, to lead with love, and to to be a bright light to those around us. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's not about that. It's about creating a better one and showing up, staying hopeful, and knowing that you're never alone on this journey. So here's to perspective, resilience, embracing a new path of positivity. Cheers. So What Now is executive produced and hosted by me, Moshe Loren. Our technical engineer is Abdul Kudus. Warren Thomas of City Country Creators designed our beautiful website and our logo. Check it out at MosheLoren.com. And Takia Crawford and my girl Shanika Maddox are our social media managers. So this show is over, but the show isn't over. I feel like we need to have a TikTok party. Can we have a TikTok talk back party? So that's what's going to happen. Head on over to TikTok. Follow me at Moshe Loren. We're going to continue to talk, and we're just going to have a good time. I just want to let loose, let my hair down a little bit, dance, and, hang out with you a little bit longer. So hang out over there on TikTok right after this live stream. And don't forget, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Join our village, join our community. Follow me on all social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Find me at Moshe Loren. And be sure to do what? Subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. I want this to be a talkback community. I want to have a conversation with you, a dialogue, not a monologue. We got a lot to talk about, and we're coming up on a new year. All right. So definitely hang out with me here. And I want to hear how you have changed and turned an unexpected ending into a beautiful new beginning. Remember, your story is your strength, and on the other side of healing is helping. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Until next time.